Good afternoon. It is Friday, July 11th. It is currently 6:27 in the evening, early evening at that. And it's time to get to work. Just wrapped up a charge here, getting a little bit of a later start on a Friday night. But I did drive very early this morning for a couple hours. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't fall back asleep. Went and had a little cup of coffee, looked at the phone, there was a reservation available on Lyft, and so I took it, and then drove a lady to the train station. Right as I dropped her off, I got a Uber Eats delivery for like $22. So I did that, and then I was lucky enough to get a ride kind of coming back towards home right after that. So I think it was like right around $60, or yeah, something like that. So good start to the day for a couple hours of driving. So I got a little jump on my day early this morning. Not too bad. But tonight, kind of the normal. Gonna be here in town. I was thinking about going to the city, but I'm gonna stay in Sac, see how it goes. I'm probably gonna end up being at the airport. I don't think there's much going on tonight down in town, and it's very hot here. It's currently 100 degrees. It was like 102 just a little while ago, so maybe it's starting to cool off a little bit, but it's very, very hot here in Sacramento today, which is pretty typical for July. But yeah, so we're gonna see how the night unfolds. Let's turn this on and see what happens. I'm kind of open to anything at this point in time, and I'm gonna try to stick to my guns on minimum ride values. Maybe try to stay with the nothing below 5 or 6 something, but try to stay true to that. But I may end up just try to do some airport shuttle stuff and whatever else comes around. So that's going to be the plan for tonight. And of course, we'll talk about whatever else pops into my head or whatever comes up. But in the meantime, let's turn everything on. Let's turn this on. Thank you. Let's go turn Lyft on. All right, we're good to go. I think I missed out on the, yeah, they had some boost stuff going on Lyft, and I think I just missed out. Where's that going? Yeah, so we're gonna pass. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Actually, I need to get out of here right now because I'm still at the charging location and holding a spot. So let's get out of here. But I'll start to make my way towards the downtown area and see what happens. And then worst case scenario, I'll just make my way to the airport if I don't get anything. But hot nights like this, it's hard to predict. I think once it kind of cools off, maybe people will be more inclined to go out, but we'll see. And it's also Friday, so you just never know. All right. Let me get moving here, and I'll be back here in a little bit, and we'll do some updates and everything else like we normally do, and we'll see how this night goes. All right, I'll be back. All right, we're on the board. Just completed my first ride, as you can see right there. Man, I've been getting like inundated with the $3.26 rides right now from Uber, like just one after another. And I've declined them all. Okay, trying to stay true, trying not to deviate, but yeah, just getting a lot of the little cheapy rides right now coming in. I don't know why, but there just seems to be just a lot right now, which it's kind of the way it goes sometimes down here. But in the meantime, able to get my first ride done, and just waiting for that next one right now. Quite a bit of people moving around, so I'm liking to see that. I mean, it's so far so good, we'll say, but we'll see how this unfolds. All right, I'll be back here in a little bit. All right, quick update. Wow, it's lighting's bad. Been moving along pretty well. Ride quality's been pretty decent. Kind of hit a slow spot right now, and I did go look at the queue just to see what was happening up there. But it's pretty packed. I mean, wow, they're not even showing it. Let's look at Lyft. I think Lyft had it at like 125. Yeah, that's a lot of drivers right there. I mean, this is the peak time right now for the queue. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, it's been going pretty well for me. Been pretty consistent. Ride quality's been good. But right now, I think it's just kind of like that in-between time where people are doing stuff. You know what? We'll do that. I think we'll do that and then maybe go check out the queue because it's kind of dead here in town right now. So it might make sense to roll up there. So, all right, let me go get Ryan here and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do after that, but I'll be back. All right, quick update. Made my way to the airport queue. I've already done one ride out and I got a queue boost on that last ride to come back. Which worked out. It was like a 8-mile ride out of here and got back here pretty quick. So here I sit waiting, but it looks pretty good. I mean, there's looking at the flight information. There's a bunch of flights that are delayed getting in, so I should be in good shape when it comes to that. Something I've noticed. And if you drive here in Sacramento, I wonder if you've noticed this too, especially if you've been in the queue. I'm seeing drivers that are driving like full-size pickups, not F-150 Lightnings. I mean like legitimate full-size pickups. There's a dude right across from me right now who's in a Dodge Ram. I think it's a 1500. And my question is, how are you making money at this driving that vehicle? Because I can't imagine that he's classified as an SUV. Maybe he is, but he can only fit 4 people in the truck because there's 3 in the back and 1 up front. And I think for an SUV, it'd have to be able to fit like 7. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, this is going to be the end of my night after this ride. So that worked out. Anyway, the question is have you seen this? And have you talked? I mean, I wonder if anyone that's watching this, are you driving a full-size truck to do this? Because I'm very curious of what your cost is to operate and how you're making money at this, because I think that's I can't see how that's happening. Very curious. And if you don't drive in Sacramento, are you seeing this in other markets as well, where you're seeing drivers drive full-size pickups to do this, which is to me insane. But anyway, all right, let's go. We'll get this ride done, and then I'll see you back in the garage with a wrap up on the night. So I'll be back. Alrighty, that's a wrap on a Friday night. And I'd have to say, not bad. Not a bad Friday night. After the last update, you saw me get that last ride. That basically got me almost to home. I have gotten some rides since then on the way home, and they've all been shit rides. Matter of fact, Lyft showed me one ride that was for like $6.28, and I punted it. And then they came back and gave it to me directly, and it was like $4. I was like, what the hell? It's the exact same ride that you just showed me, and you just dropped it like $2. I'm like, that's messed up. But yeah, not a bad night. It worked out pretty well. So I think that I barely didn't do anything different than I would normally do. I don't think, but quality rides were there. It was a good night. I did have to go through a sobriety checkpoint in downtown, which, fine. But the cop was asking me a bunch of questions about, like, how late do I stay out? Where do I normally, where am I picking people up at? nice guy. I was like, you guys are on the wrong street. You should be over on L Street and K Street, where all those drunks come out of the bars down there that are just obliterated. That's the place to be. Not where they were at, but whatever. Still. All right, let's look at numbers. As you can see, 6 for 73 here on Lyft. Great. I got a tip on that? Yeah, I did. Dang, nice. Thank you for that. That was a nice tip. On that last ride. Very nice. So here's the rides. Let me get out of the way. Here we go. There's my $5 ride. Oh, actually I did 2 $5 rides. The second one was just kind of reposition myself. And there's the $11 one that got me, that took me out of that I was at the airport, took me out. I got the queue bump for right out for that ride, which got me that last ride there for $34.90. Not bad. All right, let's take a look at Uber. See how we did there. Again, very nice. Solid average tonight. Is that 14 rides? That's what I did. 14. Where we go? 13 rides. 13. I'll put the total up on the screen. Again, I don't do math at this point in time. And I will include the what I earned this morning as well, since it's technically today. But anyway, solid average. I like that. Let's take a look at the rides. There you go. Nice, 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 nice. Not bad. Well, there's the 11:29 was my first one tonight. Here's the rides from this morning. 2 of them. There's the delivery and the ride, and then I had one for Lyft. But there's my day for Uber. Not bad. Not bad. Again, I'll put the total up here on the screen. Yeah, good week. Let's look at the week real quick. 174. What do I do here? Yeah, not bad. Not bad considering. I'll take it. Good way to end the week. Let's see. GigU. GigU's been doing good. It had a little bit of a hiccup tonight. I had to close the app and restart it, but then it's been fine doing what it should be doing. And I do like it. I think it's really good. It does have one little hiccup, and that is on sometimes when the rides come in, like on Trip Radar, it's not picking them up. But the vast majority, it is. It does really well. So no real complaints there. But yeah, solid app so far. I'm going to keep using it and testing it and see how it goes. And I'll do a breakdown on it and setup and everything probably towards the end of the month. And then, yeah, so you'll see that. But so far so good with it. And again, one of the big pros is the fact that you don't have to use your credentials to use it. So Uber and Lyft have no idea. So that's a huge plus. All right, that's going to do it for me for the week. I will be back at this next week. I think again another Wednesday and Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. And if you've made it this far in the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching my videos, which the vast majority of people are not subscribed that watch the videos, please hit the button. I would really appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Bye.